There we go. What's happening? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whatever it is your way. You know what it is. It's 10 Cents Podcast Crew, and you got three the hard way. The three of Negroes. No.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's happening? Good morning. Oh, snap. Man, that feedback. I do that every time. I do that every time. I gotta figure that out so it doesn't do that. Anyways, good morning, fellas. What's happening? How y'all living?
It's good, man. It's good. I was out last week, had to get some Valentine's Day taken care of. You know how that goes.
Baby. How you get it?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Oh, well,
Was it good to you?
I sired two kids for a reason. You know what I mean? I'm not as good as I used to be, but I'm not as bad as I'm gonna be. You know what I mean?
Hey. You know what I mean? We ain't out here trying to break records right now. You know what I'm saying?
No, sir.
No records.
No,
You
sir.
know, we just out here doing work. I appreciate that. Hey man,
even Usain Bolt had to shut it down at some point. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You said it earlier. Father Time is undefeated. I think you said it earlier.
Undefeated. That man is 1-0. He don't take no losses.
You got to get it while the getting is good. If you ain't got it, well then ain't that what Bernie Mac said? Bernie Mac said something about look, I got mine. You better get yours. You know,
the dealer departed.
Exactly. Let's get on that same train because it's leaving the station.
Well, welcome back, man. We missed you, Kung Fu Kenny. You know we missed you too, my brother. Welcome back, man. Well, we got a lot to discuss today. We finally saw that the Rams, they did what they did. Kenny, you hopped on the train at the perfect time.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? Delivered it in the first year, baby. You know what I'm saying? You got the Anthony Davis. Don't come up short next year.
Those are high expectations.
This is exactly what's going to happen. And I didn't want to say this out loud because I didn't want to get Luda and them. I got a guy called like that. Luda and them excited about it, but this is what I did with the Cowboys. So, yeah, that turned out. So I got maybe like 1 or 2 more good years in me. That's it.
Better get it while the getting is good.
That rule applies across the board.
Oh man, that's too funny.
Hey, does this feel like a precursor to next week?
It feels like it.
It feels like a precursor right here.
It feels like it. For those that don't know, all three of us will be in the same place at the same time around the same part of the way. I mean, we're gonna be out here in AZ. It's gonna be warm, fellas. It's been getting warmer. I know it's been getting warmer out there. It's been getting warm, man. I mean, by warm, I mean hopefully, you know what I'm saying, still sticks in the 80s, but it's 80s out here. It feels hot. You know what I'm saying?
I need
trust me. Oh my goodness. I wore some jeans yesterday and they were sticking to my thighs. I hated it. I hated all that action. But we're gonna be in the same place at the same time doing wild things. It's gonna be good. Three of Negroes on a roll. Coming to a Scottsdale place near you. Hey,
I make some shirts for us if I get inspired.
Oh, I love it. Hey, look, do it like the Three Ninjas, but like the Three of Negroes fight back or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Or it could be like that Spider-Man. Was the three of us all pointing at each other?
Yeah. Oh no! Let me see if I can find some pictures.
Yeah, man. Make sure mine has a dashiki on, please.
Oh yeah, see, you're getting crazy. I'm not that sophisticated, man. You're getting crazy.
Oh man! All right, so back to the Super Bowl. A quick question for y'all, because there's been a lot of conversation about McVay retiring, Aaron Donald retiring. You know, they can't keep all people there. I already seen Von Miller expects to test free agency. Who's going to end up on the outs of this team? Who do y'all think they're going to bring back? Everybody? You think they're going to be able to bring them all back, or do you think that they're going to lose a lot of people?
I think they're willing to spend some money. I think they're going to bring. I don't think Von Miller's coming back. I think if AD wants to come back, he's going to come back. I think McVay's not going anywhere. They're going to have to try to sign Odell. That's going to be a big lift. I don't know if Jalen's up for. I don't know what his contract looks like, but I think you'll see about 85 to 90% of that team come back.
Okay, and with 85 to 90% coming back, do they run it back?
Well, we thought the Bucs were going to run it back too. It's so hard to do it, but right now the numbers are the Rams are the favorites for next year already.
And I would say to your point about the Bucs, the reality is they got decimated by injuries last year, so they were on they were on track to go back and do what they do. But to your point about salary cap and expenses, some of those cats can't be afforded a whole nother season. And then finally, for a bunch of them like AD, they've been out there, and Von Miller for that matter. out there struggling trying to get that ring. Von's already got 2 now, so it's like, he can go shop himself for free agency for a check, but like he's not playing for anything else at this point. I mean, where's he gonna get another ring from? Odds are, if he wants to stay for a ring, his best chances are in the Rams. Otherwise, he's just looking for money.
Yeah. Well, if he does go, do you think just for the sake of retiring where he started, he goes back to Denver?
That's where he said his heart's at. That's where his team's at. But to your point, I mean, he would go back to go play for him, but not to go win a ring, because they still probably years away from that.
And
I
that's
think, admirable.
I think his effectiveness too. If you think about it, he's going to have a situation that's similar to the Rams, where there's a dominant guy that's getting double teamed, so he can come outside and do his thing. Because if he's the guy that's the focal point, notice he's not the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, outside of the Rams, let's do a quick 2 early Super Bowl champion predictions. Who else do you guys think really has an opportunity at doing this thing next year? Do you see Joe B and the Bengals returning?
I mean, they're one of the teams. I think KC is going to have something to say about that, but I think we need to caveat it because we don't know what's going to happen with Russell Wilson. We don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. Until we know what that looks like, it's really hard to say. But let's say everybody stands pat. The Green Bay is always going to be there as long as Aaron's there and Devontae's there, so don't count them out. I think the AFC, the powers have shifted. I think the 3 best teams in the AFC now are Tennessee, the Chiefs, and the Bengals. So we can do with that what we will.
Ooh,
I don't know.
The Bills got a lot to say about that.
I know the Bills do. I'm not certain about them yet, but I'm certain about those 3 teams.
Okay. I mean, I respect that. I would probably put the Bills above the Titans, but I see why you would do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, they are very interchangeable. I like the fact that Joe B has got those boys included in the conversation. That's very good. What did you guys think? Kind of switching reels a little bit. What did you guys think about what was it? ESPN? And I want to say it was Sam Macho, but it might have been somebody different who did his top 5 QBs list and didn't include Patrick Mahomes on the list. It was Burrow. It was your boy from the Chargers. It was Aaron Rodgers. Oh man, now I'm forgetting who the 5th one was. Hold on, real quick. I'll tell you. I just think that's
you're missing 2. Just by my math, you're missing 2. But
yeah. I forgot the other 2 now.
Okay.
But I just think that's crazy. You can name a top 5 QB list. Yeah, it was Sam Macho. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Sam Macho, Manuel Macho's brother. And his list was, he said Stafford, Burrow, Rodgers, Josh Allen, and Justin Herbert.
He wants clickbait.
Yeah.
He must have, right?
Because how do you not have Aaron Rodgers in that conversation? How do you not?
No, he did. He had Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
My bad.
Wilson?
He said Josh Allen. He said number 1 is Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers, and Joe Burrow. That's his top 5 in order.
Mostly young guns. Stafford, yes. Stafford's good, but
top 5?
I evaluate.
Well, okay, let's say you had to build a team right now. Would he be your quarterback, your QB1?
No. Just about any one of those. And add Mahomes would be mine.
Mahomes has to be in there, even though I think Mahomes, the mystique of Mahomes is kind of it's waned in these last couple of years. We've seen that he's human, but first couple of years he was a robot. We've seen he's human. We've seen that he can be disrupted. Even that being said, he's still a top 5 quarterback to me.
Yeah, I just feel like that's super crazy. I don't know how you can build any sort of list without including him on that. But all right.
Well, let me run this real quick. So
yeah,
let's say Tom Brady stays retired. Who is your top 5?
Nick, I'll let you start.
This is in no order. Mahomes, Rodgers. I'm still taking Russell Wilson. Wow. You know what? I think I have to put Josh Allen in there because he's done it. And let me put Joe B in there. That's my top 5.
I don't even know if I would disagree with that.
Yeah, I was like, I think you got a unanimous out of me. Yeah,
because I love Justin Herbert, right? I just don't know. We've seen enough. Like again, he's thrown 2 million yards and a gang of touchdowns, or whatever. But there's a lot to be said about that because again, not to go back to the Cowboys, but Romo at one point was outstanding in terms of like sheer stats. But when it comes down to like winning games, you know what I mean? Like in those clutch things, intangibles, exactly. You can't put a number or a price tag on that. So I don't know if he's overcome that mountain yet, or got to the top of that point of his career in terms of like what he can do beyond just the stats, like winning games, getting deep in the playoffs. Those other boys we just talked about have all proven they can do it, especially when you have to put the team on your back.
Now, with that being said, I mean, you know what the gripe is about Aaron Rodgers. It's the fact that, he's been regular season MVP 4 times. He's won the bowl 1 time. So when you talk about clutch genes and things of that nature, he doesn't have it. Was it last year or the year before? It came down to Matt LaFleur and his play call. This year, really, we can't. I mean, he was up. You can't really say it was anybody's fault but his own for not putting, at least one more touchdown on the board. At what point do we start to really question Aaron Rodgers' clutch gene?
I think we need to question it now. We need to question it now. He's got all the moxie in the world. He's got all the arm talent in the world. He's probably mechanically the best quarterback I've ever seen, being able to drop the ball in, throw on the run, whatever. But he's not clutch. And that's weird. It's like, how do you have all those things and not be clutch? I don't understand that.
Yeah, and it's so funny to say that because this is also the same dude who won a game. Was it San Francisco or somebody like that with like less than a minute to go? You just see him on the sideline. He's just like flipping the ball. And he's just like, cool. They scored. And then he went out and he scored in like 2 plays, you know what I'm saying, to win the game. So it's like, it's really kind of weird because, I mean, is he not clutch, or is it like he's like way too nonchalant? Like, the cockiness, like he just.
I think that's another thing too, because he's estranged with his brother, he's estranged with his parents. All his relationships fail. I think it's him, something that he does. Maybe I don't know what it is. I'm not around it.
we took that deep.
I was like his
therapist. Mama don't like you. Right? Daddy don't like you.
Right? I mean, if your family don't like you, how you get a bunch of guys to run with you if your family don't run with you?
Shit.
I'll start
calling I heard Bayless Aaron Rodgers.
Nick Bayless is what I'll start calling you.
Yeah. So I didn't mean to go so deep on this early on Sunday, but
easy.
Oh shit! I was like, we talking football. Why you have to bring the family in?
I'm trying to find answers. I'm trying to find some answers.
Damn. You cut straight to the white meat. I am. All right. Well,
TMZ all of a sudden.
Got to have an intervention. Like, what is it about you that sucks, nigga? It's like, goddamn. What's up, P? The most infamous and most famous.
Oh, look at the background.
Member.
Look at the background.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, I agree with what Mick was saying. And his engagement just fell apart, right?
And the girl don't like you.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something going on with him.
Do it.
Well, I mean, we saw that before the season started. You know what I mean? Like the dude showed up looking like he was like a 70s hipster porn star. No training camp, no mini camps, no nothing. He just literally just showed up week 1. So like, hey, I'm here to play. You know what I mean? Like it's to Mick's point, there's something innately different about that kid, and I think whatever that difference now is working against him. I mean, in the very beginning, like I would say, or at some point in his career, like that gene in him was like favorable, right? But now it's not so much. I don't know if it's because of the coaching that's not there, or the coaching that is there, or or where he's at, where he's at in his career, or to Mick's point, personally, like he just doesn't have all his like, all the fundamental things that surround you, like to support you, that maybe they're not there. So who knows? But there is something very specific that we can't put our finger on why he's not performing at the level we know he's capable of.
Right.
Elementary school, they'd have that plays well with others. I think he has an N right now, and it could be a U pretty soon. I don't know.
Unsatisfactory.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get off of NFL for right now. We'll get back and let's get on some NBA. It's All-Star Weekend, which is kind of crazy to me. I mean, this is one of the most non-festive All-Star weekends I think that I've ever experienced in my life. That was probably
the single worst dunk contest I've seen in my entire life.
I was gonna get to it.
Oh my God.
I didn't even know it was All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, right.
Good. You
Until
saved
last
yourself.
night.
You saved yourself.
You guys, look at where we're at. The All-Star week or the All-Star dunk contest was so boring that it was the first one without a 50. You know what I'm saying? Which is insanity. A center won the 3-point contest.
I saw that.
I don't even know what happened in the skills competition. It was an interesting format, but I still missed it. Like, it's just there's no real hype about it. Plus, they're in Cleveland and it's cold with nothing to do.
I think that has a lot to do with it, right? Because let's say it was
Yeah.
like Miami, Atlanta, New York, LA, some city where it's like they got a big market and a big team following where, you know, like people would fly into it. Who is flying into Cleveland this weekend? Nobody.
Man. You know what
Guy
I mean?
Fieri was
How do you even hype it up? How do you
Guy
hype it
Fieri
up?
was
Like,
there.
Guy Fieri, I think that was the biggest star I saw out there.
how do you even hype it up? Like
Fieri.
Man, All-Star weekend in Cleveland. I think that's the problem, right? So instead of the hype being about the game, what have we overly heard? A bunch of stuff about LeBron James, which we'll get into, but it's just been LeBron James. At least that's what I've heard. And I'm just I'm over it. So you know what?
I'm going back to Cleveland.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get into that. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. So how about this? Since it's really hard to focus on the current day's All-Star game, let's talk about a few of our most memorable All-Star moments from years previous. Let's start with the dunk contest, because the dunk contest, you know, I love the one thing that I do love about this time of the year is that NBA TV will replay all of the dunk contests again, over and over and over again. And you get a chance to really just see some stuff that you may have remembered, of course, with like Neek and Jordan, right? And then some stuff that you didn't remember, like what's his face? Hamidou Diallo winning it from the OKC Thunder, which I forgot about him.
Karuki.
And
Say it
yeah.
again?
Yeah, I can't do it. I cannot. I mean, I'm sounded out.
I thought you was speaking Swahili right there.
it felt like that.
Karuki.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, oh.
But me and Ed made that a verb. A Karuki is a verb now.
Karuki times 2.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what are some of you guys' favorite moments from the All-Star weekend?
This one or any?
Any? No. This weekend we ain't got nothing.
Obviously, yeah, Jordan and Dominique, Spud Webb. That was classic just because he's 5'6" and was handling that. Kobe when he was in it. Those are mine, you know, when the classic 3-point shooters were in it. Bird, way back. I'm aging myself, of course, but, you know, Ray Allen, like the real Reggie Miller.
Yeah.
As far as lately, there's not been nothing recent that gets me going. I mean, what's his name jumping over a car was kind of cool, but
Blake Griffin,
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. It's a problem that there's no more creativity. Like after 20, 30 years of dunk contest, like what can you do?
Yeah, I think the well is all tapped out.
Well,
Yeah,
I was talking to Rick about it, and I think they need to do a couple things. One, like make it like horse instead of like, but not go to HRSE, make it like NBA or pig or something where people have to follow those dunks. And two, and the thing that I thought about is raise the basket 6 inches. So people got to do something different now. Like it's not as easy to
Really
do
gotta be a
what
leaper.
they're doing. Like you got to leap, you got to do some. I mean, we'll see probably some of the older stuff, like you know, but mine just going back. Jordan and Neek, those are my favorite dunk contests just because that was when I was fully invested and I was a Jordan guy. I was funny. We used to have a 7-foot hoop back in the day and P was a Neek guy. So we would try to do those dunks and that kiss the rim still stays with me. It's my favorite dunk of all time. It's just a great dunk.
Kind of baseline on it.
Mm-hmm. And he's just leaning and just like floating like, okay, I'm gonna be up here hanging out. You guys let me know. And then just flush it. I love that dunk.
I thought about like Spud Webb because obviously my altitude challenge self has somebody to look up to, to be so diminutive and still beating dudes that are like, literally a full 12 inches taller than him or more. I would probably have to put Vince Carter in there, right? Because he changed the way dunk contest was, being facilitated at that point. Nate Robinson, because again, another diminutive cat that he won multiple dunk contests. But I think the big problem now is like I like that idea of like PEG or the NBA. Because a lot of times what these dudes do is they practice, right? So they get to practice their dunks before they do it, and they go out there, and then what gets everybody all like either gassed up or like pissed off is you see them like go dunk and like, oh, and then they didn't do it. Now you kind of see where they're going, and you kind of lose some of that energy. I love the fact that if you do like PEG or something like that, where whoever can successfully do it, you know what I mean? And it got nothing to do with your height, nothing to do with your practices. Like, yo, you got the talent. Let's go get it, right? And it pits people against them. So the person who does the best dunk, now they get the 50, now they get the 40, now they get the whatever. And then they kind of rank them out right then and there. And it's like an even playing field. Because I think that's one of the things that was also kind of problematic is there's also a subjective, you know what I mean? Like somebody might like be leaning towards one type of dunk style and another one might be leaning towards another dunk style, and they would grade completely different. Like we're all doing the same dunk, you know what I mean? Like let's say to your point, Blake Griffin jumping over a car. How many other cats can jump over a car? How many other dudes can put their elbow through the rim, right? Like just see what they got, right? And then the one dude that can pull it off, bet. The only issue is, let's say one dunk can be everybody puts their elbow in. How do you separate the 50s, right? So you gave one dude a 50, the next dude puts his elbow through. Well, you gotta give him a 50. Next dude put his elbow through. You gotta give him 50. So like I guess they would have to add on. Like I don't know how long that dunk contest is gonna have to be if you're doing PEG or NBA with 4 or 5 different dudes or 6 dudes trying to dunk, doing the same damn dunk over and over and over. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I think that was part of the issue. I mean, like you guys said, basically there's only so much that you can do, but it is the way that you do it. I you guys got to go back. It was 2019. His name is, I'm gonna try to say it again, Hamidou Diallo. And to your point, yeah, we had never seen anybody put their elbow in the rim until Vince Carter. Well, he did it after he dunked over Shaq, which was, and then he ripped open his jersey and had Superman underneath. That was showmanship. I think at the end of the day,
I was gonna say that's what it's coming down to. It's not even the dunk anymore. It's what do you do before and after the dunk?
Yeah, I mean, and I like that for me because some of my favorites of the past couple of years was not only that one, but it was also the one where Derrick Jones Jr. won, which is another very lanky, tall, high riser. The battles between Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Those were amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of energy that you need. And it's like, I don't know whether it's just like the NBA decides, okay, there's not enough interest for this year, so we're just going to throw out some of these guys or what. But it needs to be fully vetted. Like it needs to be done a whole hell of a lot better because at this point in the game, it is losing its luster, right? It is no longer.
Remember, there were a couple seasons where they actually didn't have a dunk contest because they didn't have enough people rostered.
And that sucked, right? We were like, bring it back. But then, I mean, people are scared, and there's like a bunch of different things. Like maybe they need to change up the way that the format, maybe it needs to be a tournament. Maybe it's a 2-night event. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe they need to do something to kind of mix it in and make it a little bit better. I also going to the 3-point contest. First and foremost, I love seeing shooters shoot. I hate seeing Towns win it. Only because I hate the way, and call me old school, I like certain aspects of the newer way of ball, you know what I'm saying, in terms of everybody's able to shoot. But I hate promoting that a 7-footer should be outside shooting. Like, no, a 7-footer should be down on the block because at the end of the day, I mean, and no disrespect to Towns, but I can never really get behind that dude. You won the 3-point contest, but if you go up against Joel Embiid, he's gonna make you his son. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna make you his grandson. You're whack, and that's where you should be.
I'm glad you didn't say Anthony Davis.
Oh man,
because if he goes against Anthony Davis, he's gonna make Anthony Davis his son. Sorry, had to throw that in.
Yeah. But anyways,
Davis family don't like him. Anthony Davis mama don't like him.
Don't like that dude. Dude, his eye sockets don't like him. You seen that dude's eyes?
Yeah.
His eyebrows don't like him.
Nothing like him.
Man. So speaking of Anthony Davis, it's really funny because I was watching after Mickey told me about the draft happening. I tapped in and it was very interesting. By the way, for those that are listening, we're gonna run our own 75th anniversary draft. We might start it this week on Wednesday. We'll see what we can put together, but it's going to be soon because I really did. I like the format. I liked what they did, where they took the top 75 and they took 4 wild cards and they said, hey, make your fantasy team. I thought it was really interesting, but it was really funny because I want to say Sue Bird was the one that drafted Anthony Davis like with her 4th pick, and I was like there's so many others.
Pop quiz, hot shot. Who is the NBA player who has the most All-Star game appearances?
Tim Duncan
Is it LeBron?
or Kareem?
Did Kareem have All-Star games back then? Oh yeah. All right.
It's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's got
Okay.
more.
Good shit.
Michael Jordan doesn't even crack top 10.
Oh.
He didn't play long enough.
He didn't play long enough.
That's crazy. So,
LeBron,
yeah, you're right.
So
That's
LeBron
right.
and Kobe have, I want to say, 18 appearances. And
Yeah.
Kareem has 19.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and once again, look, see, this is the thing, right? Like, I got a chance to watch Kareem in his older days. He was sky hooking, and then running slowly down.
He was sky bricking towards the end, but
Yeah, exactly.
He was sky.
Yeah.
We were like, no, don't shoot. That's what we used to do at the end.
So like for me, like I have to go back. I mean, and I've gone back and I've seen, some stuff, but I it's never like a full season. You know what I mean? I wasn't privy the way that he is. And so when people talk about how dominant he was and all that, all I can do is take their word for it, but you forget truly how great he was. So shout out to the Cat for that.
Kareem was great, and I'm not saying he's not the greatest because it's him or Jordan. But it's hard for me to declare someone the greatest when they can hardly dribble a ball. Have you ever seen Kareem take the ball from one end of the court to the other?
No,
never.
Oh my God.
got,
It's ugly. Anybody can steal that ball from him.
He's got long spaghetti limbs that he's got to coordinate all together. That's tough.
It's funny.
And it doesn't help that he's a red ass and nobody wants to talk to him because he's a pain in the ass. Well, he's better now, but he used to be a red ass back in the day.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hey, but shout out to the Cap. So we'll put some more of that together. Anyways, the point is the NBA needs to change some of their format. Are you guys tapping into the game today?
I'm on the fence. I'm gonna flip a coin.
Yeah.
Now that we're
Like,
talking about it, I might.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I probably will catch it at some point, but I got a lot of shit to do. Tyson got a tournament, I got to work a little bit. And it's kind of crazy, man. This used to be like my Super Bowl. Really. It used to be like I would just sit down and the entire weekend say nothing to me. I'm watching this stuff. And now, so
I might run back Super Bowl 56.
Hey, we did.
There you go.
Or Ozark.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Hey, I like that too.
Rick,
All right.
that means you're getting old, by the way. When
I knew you were gonna
your
say that. I was
priorities have
waiting on that.
changed. I mean, you're almost 40 now. It's different when you get when you got a 4 in front of your as your main number in your age.
Yep.
It gets different.
I got some time before that.
Okay.
Tell me. Don't put that on me
You're
just yet.
That's father time.
Hey, look, almost doesn't count. Nigga, I am not 40 yet. All right, so let's go to the second quarter game. So you're trying to put me out there. Usually we say what's happening in the world. Guess what? Chaos is happening in the world. So we're gonna talk about the sports world. All right, we'll get back to some real life shit another time. I don't want to do it. I'm glad it's only 4 of us on because this means that this is probably going to go a whole lot better than it normally would because we're going to debate a couple of things. We talked about this over the chat, and I felt like it was time to bring this to the table here. We're gonna start with the NFL again. Top 5 in every position this year. The main position. I'm sorry, the main.
Okay, yeah.
No, I'll say the main position. I'm sorry.
And offensive, right? Are we trying to do
offensive? Yep. Let's go QB. Okay. Let's go wide receiver. Let's go running back. And y'all want to go offensive line? No,
I was gonna say I think tight end's too easy. There's really only 5 great tight ends.
Yeah, but we can't do tight end. So should we do corner then?
That's kind of tough too.
I don't even know. I don't know 5 great corners. I can't think of 5.
I can't even think of one.
I can.
Ramsey.
Oh, boy.
Ramsey got done, fam. Ramsey got done.
He got handled in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He sure did. He got
his whole playoffs
he
were
got
bad.
butchered. He got butchered by
because Debo got him too.
Yeah. Mike Evans got him.
No, he had a rough playoff, man. So it's hard to. All right, well then let's just talk the main 3, the top 3: QB, wide receiver, and running back, and then we'll get on to the next one. All right. Who wants to start? QB.
We kind of talked about it already.
I think we already kind of ran that one already.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry, we did run that one.
But P wasn't on. Let's let P go.
We're talking whole year, everything included.
Yeah.
I probably would still say Rodgers, number 1.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I know Mahomes and Allen are up there, and they actually took a game or 2 in the playoffs. Maybe Mahomes, number 1. Then Rodgers, Brady.
Assume Brady's not playing next season. You got to build a team. You got 5 choices. No Brady.
So no Brady. All right.
No Brady. He's out.
Okay. What did I say? I said Mahomes, Rodgers, Allen. Wilson didn't do shit this year. I would have to put Stafford at 5, but who would I put at 4? 4. I know Kirk Cousins had a good year, but I can't make that move. Can't do that.
Burrow
had a pretty good year. You know what? I'll put him up there because of the Super Bowl run they had. I'll put Burrow up there. Yeah, at number 4. Actually, no. I'm going to switch 4 and 5 then because he didn't win it and Stafford did.
Fair enough.
So Stafford 4, Burrow 5.
That looks just like our list, except for we swapped out Wilson for Stafford.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean, I was looking at his body of work, not just this year, but
wasn't he out? Oh, I thought it was just this year.
You're not wrong for saying that. I'm just saying I still think Wilson's a better quarterback than Stafford.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like
right.
imagine this. Imagine the Rams had Russell last year.
Oh, yeah.
Whole season. No, last year, last 2 years. What would they have done?
That would have been great.
Right.
I was going to ask you guys another one too, since P was having a problem with 4 and 5. Do you guys think you would have still won if you'd had Joe Burrow?
Yeah, because then he wouldn't have had to face Miller and Donald.
You'd have more time.
That was the equalizer. The equalizer.
So let me ask you guys one more question. Then.
I have Stafford up there because of the run he made, also like Burrow. He won it, and he was actually, I think, number 2 in touchdowns.
Yeah.
And this was like his.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
he had a good year.
I believe it was his 3rd year throwing more than 40 touchdowns, which that's kind of the marker for throwing a shit ton of touchdowns.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of that had to do with his connection and his dynamic with the
Cooper?
Triple Crown winner?
For sure.
Because if you switch that kid out and you put, let's say, Mike Evans in, do you think that he would have still had those same numbers?
Yeah.
Well, they could have. I mean, Mike Evans.
Let's say Devontae Adams, make it like the premier.
Oh yeah.
Then yeah.
I think so. Even Mike Evans, I think he would have had the touchdowns, maybe not the yards, because Mike Evans doesn't get a ton of yards and ton of targets, but he does score touchdowns. So I think he would have, because you seen Matt Stafford with a big dominant receiver, he does well. Look what he does.
That's cheating, right? Megatron, you can't even compare him to any other receiver outside of maybe Andre Johnson and.
Shout out to Andre Johnson.
That's it.
I will also say this. I feel like what Matt Stafford did, because Matt Stafford, basically when he started the season, he had Woods and he had Kupp, right? Which was nice. And then he had Higbee, right? And then Woods goes out. What was it, like 1 or 2 games that they basically just had Kupp?
Playoffs. He went on the playoffs, like the first game of the playoffs, the second game of the playoffs.
Okay, so he had a couple of games with just Kupp and then they get Odell.
I thought Woods went out early.
You talking Woody? He said Higbee. I think that was the last.
Okay. Right.
Higbee
Woods went out mid-season.
Okay.
And that's when they picked up OBJ, and that was a good
right. And then they picked up OBJ, and they had to get him in there, right?
Yeah.
And then once they got him in there, I mean, which they really, I mean,
let's
OBJ
be honest.
probably played.
Him and Stafford started having a connection too there.
I agree.
That game wouldn't have been as close if Odell doesn't go down. That would have been a 2 touchdown game if OBJ doesn't go down.
Yeah, I agree.
Minimum.
I agree. And and I'll be honest with y'all, OBJ might have been the MVP if he didn't go down.
Yeah, he might have.
Because he started hot.
Yeah, he was.
Because he had 100 yards or close to 100 yards in what quarter or 4?
And a touchdown in like 1 quarter. Yeah.
In 1 quarter.
Hold on, we got a guy on the witness protection that joined. What's up, RP?
What up, man?
There he is.
I'm back. Hey, you didn't have Brady in your top 5 this season?
We said moving forward.
We said assume that Brady wasn't there.
Oh, got you.
All right, so let's move on to wide receivers. We're saying skill positions.
Yeah, wide receivers.
I'll start with wide receivers. I'll do Devontae Adams.
Okay.
I'll do Stephon Diggs. I'll still do Nook, even though last year he kind of not so hot. Obviously the Triple Crown winner, Kupp, and then that's where it gets kind of dicey. I like maybe Chase. either Chase
Okay.
or Jamal Jefferson. But I gotta say Chase because what he did as a rookie is probably never been seen before. I'm not sure if it'll be a while before we see another rookie wide receiver come out of the gate firing like the way that kid was. And if you guys remember, Jamal specifically said in the preseason that kid just looked like shite, right? Because that dude's hands was like suspect as all hell. Talked about I couldn't see it in the sun and whoop-de-whoop. Wind up balling out the entire damn season. And
I did say he was going to come out and do his thing, but then I got off that because he beat his wife, and then I talked about his hands. So let's call it exactly how it was.
Fair enough. So that's my top 5.
He's
So
married?
I'm sorry,
Is
his girlfriend, fiance.
Oh.
Sorry, girlfriend.
Nick,
I'm gonna
Dang,
say-
he's like 19.
I'm gonna say Cooper Cup's number 1 because he hit Triple Crown. I don't want to take that from him for this season. I'm gonna say Devontae Adams number 2. Probably Justin Jefferson number 3, and then I'll go Debo, and then I'll go Chase.
no homers here.
I like what you did,
Same.
Renee. I'm trying to figure out where CeeDee Lamb fits in there because I like Justin Jefferson. I like both of those guys better than
If you look
Stephon
at
Diggs.
all 5 of those guys' stats just this season, they're gonna blow everyone out the water. I already looked at this list. It's crazy. Like their stats are crazy this year. All 5 of them are nuts.
Again, because you're looking at this specific league. That's why I kind of stuttered with the.
Well, Chase only has 1 season.
That's the reason why I stopped with him. But let's say you're moving forward, just the same thing. Like we had to imagine like there's no Brady. You can't. We're not going to take one season. Like you're going to build from this point forward. Who are you going to take? So that's why Chase obviously has got to be.
So
there.
then using that,
But I
let's
don't
take
have.
Chase
I don't
out.
have a lot. I don't have enough body of work to discriminate him out of.
Okay,
that
well,
population.
let's use that. Take Chase out, and then let's go with it.
Tyreek
He only has
Hill.
1 season.
Tyreek Hill.
I forgot about
Gonna say Tyreek
I
Hill.
forgot about
There you
Tyreek.
go. Thank you.
Forgot about Tyreek.
That's where I was gonna go, P. Yeah, it's. I mean, hey, and
It's
I
hard to
like
pick
the young
5.
boys.
It's hard to pick.
I like
5.
the young boys. I like Chase. I like Jefferson a lot. I like Samuel. You know what I'm saying? I really, really like those. Obviously, we respect Devontae, Cooper. Nothing but love for you two. But I mean, you can't leave a cheetah out of anything, bro.
I forgot about him.
Deuces. I mean, my God, my. I mean, you throw deuces at the defender in front of you. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. You know.
On that
it's
note,
like,
I'm out of here.
yeah.
I was in
See
for
ya.
a second.
All right, bud.
Hey,
All right,
Chief,
boss.
thank you for joining. Appreciate
See
you.
ya.
Yeah, man. All right, run it to the next one. This
He
one
just
should be
came on to
interesting.
throw Debo in there. Get out
Yeah,
of here.
he did. He did. He's like, hey, you guys talk about
I
Brady?
know we talk about quarterbacks right now, but have y'all talked about Debo?
You gotta admire his fandom, I guess.
Where we at with the running backs?
This is where it's gonna get. This is where it's gonna get interesting to me.
Yeah. The guys toting the rock was very interesting. I mean, we have a clear 1-2, yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Who?
1-2,
Who?
1-2.
Let's hear it.
1-2's got to be our guy that got injured.
Derrick
Henry.
Henry.
Derrick
It's
Henry.
Derrick Henry.
And then 2 is Jonathan Taylor.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Here's where it gets dicey to me because you got Kamara and you have the kid from Minnesota, but both those guys had down years last year.
They did.
But
They
if you
did.
look at their body of work, Dalvin Cook, they've been special. So I don't know. I'm trying to think who else.
Nick Chubb's gotta be in there.
Chubb, you got Chubb.
Gotta be in there. You got Najee could maybe possibly in there. Austin Eckler could possibly be in there.
Eckler,
I was like, you gotta give Eckler love. If you're giving Herbert love, you gotta give Eckler love.
Eckler, absolutely.
And
Yeah,
then
he
Joe
was a
Mixon.
beast.
Oh,
We gotta give Joe Mixon.
And then you got
We
the
gotta
kid
give
from the
Mixon love.
Raiders, Jacobs. When he's right, he's
Yep.
right too.
You know?
Banged up a lot.
He seems like he's hurt a lot though.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he is.
Yeah. So
Mixon's
yeah, we're
always
fu-
hurt. He just didn't get hurt this year somehow.
Right.
True.
Everything went right for them except winning.
But I can
The
tell you
entire
who's not
thing.
in that population anymore. Ezekiel Elliott. He fell
No.
off. He's
Yeah.
trash now. Oof, what happened? to
Yeah,
him?
he's garbage.
Aaron Jones, like he had like a one and done.
Saquon
season.
Barkley.
Oh my God. And that's me for
Saquon.
I picked him the last 3 seasons, and then I've been the dumbass of the month the last 3 seasons.
Christian McCaffrey. Another
Yeah,
one.
there you go.
Way too hurt.
Somebody talk about that. I don't know.
Wow.
But talent-wise, he's
He might be
he's
number one.
top 5, right? He's right there. But
Yeah.
I guess the
Kamara.
best ability is availability. Kamara, same thing.
A guy that I thought was going to do a whole lot better this year, and I don't know, maybe it was injuries. He didn't. Was Fournette. I thought it was. I mean, who doesn't want to go to that? You got Brady, and then you've got all sorts of weapons, and all you got to do is tote that thing. And he's a good runner. I mean, I liked and maybe this is stupid of me. Y'all know my hot takes. I called him the second coming of AP. I thought he could run that thing like AP. Yeah, I know, Stinky. Thank you. I know. Hey, whatever.
I thought
I still got a hot take.
Swift was
still
gonna
got
be way better, just like you. You know what I mean? Like that kid's
Oh,
a good runner,
yeah.
good hands. I don't know if it's that team is just cursed. Or
It is.
what.
No, it is. They are. By the way, did you see that they're like, yo, they don't see any reason why Ryan can't come back as their quarterback?
Who?
Like, Jesus Christ. Matt Ryan. Right? Because doesn't Swift play for Atlanta?
No, he
Plays for Detroit.
Oh, you know what? Did Swift go to? But Swift went to Georgia. That's what I'm fucking up on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that might be what it is.
Oh,
Sorry.
dude. Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got to keep your eye on that dude. He's a receiver for Detroit.
Oh yeah, well he's an
Okay.
SC guy. He's an SC guy too. So
Oh, he is?
Look,
I
no,
didn't
you
know
didn't
that.
know?
I think his
No.
brother went to Notre Dame and he went to SC or vice versa.
Mm.
One, I might have him flip flopped.
He's going to be, as long as you don't get hurt, that dude's going to be badass. He's on my radar for next year.
So, all right, let's make this list. I know it's tough, but let's make this list. So we got 1, 2 down. We got Henry and Taylor. 3, 4, 5. Consensus. We got to put Eckler up there, yeah?
Me, it's Austin
What-
Eckler. So me, it's Dalvin Cook. Probably
Three,
Nick Chubb, and then
Eckler.
I got to put Christian on there. He's the highest paid running back in the business. I have to put him on there.
You don't
the
care about
problem is you don't
production?
get the cats like this. I'm
I
sorry,
know.
man. Like when you only have one dude on your team that's worth a squad of piss, they run those cats into the absolute ground, and that's exactly what happened to that dude. Once you start running over 300, 350, touches a season, you ain't gonna last very long. And this is exactly what happened to that dude. We've seen this countless times. So I wouldn't put another nickel on that dude's career from this point in, right? Because it's just too banged up, too much mileage on him.
Yeah.
Put all that aside in a utopian world.
If I brought him back like this, we're looking 4 years back, then absolutely.
If you $6 million man that guy,
Nope.
I like him.
Nope.
And I didn't think he was going to be anything. I was like, man, Reggie Bush couldn't do it. He can't do it. And he's like, no, let me show you that I can do it. And I was like, okay, sorry that I doubted you.
I'd rather take Kamara then, because it's basically the same type of like skill set. So one's just better than the other. So if Kamara doesn't go to jail for forever, that's where I'm going.
All right.
Him and AP.
I guess that could be the mantra for our lives, right?
Yeah, right.
If those dudes stop hitting people, I have a lot of stake in that.
Yeah, somebody should have called Ray Rice before they thought that, decided to do what they did.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
That Ray Rice shit.
Is that too
might have
soon?
been- Yeah, no.
Nah, that's like a decade ago, but that dude got,
Man, is it?
that dude got
shit-
blackballed.
I
Rightfully
mean,
so.
as he should have. As he
Rightfully
should have.
so.
I mean,
Rightfully so.
yeah, man. I mean, who's the other one that did that? Beat his baby mama up, and they saw that. There was another one. It was like in an apartment complex.
He don't even play right now.
No,
Kareem Hunt, wasn't it?
Hunt did it.
No.
Was it
Kareem
Hunt?
Hunt was in a hotel hallway.
Okay.
No, there's another cat that beat up
Nah,
his
there
baby
was
mama
another
in
one.
the apartment somewhere in like
Yeah.
Alabama or someplace.
Yeah, like he got mad at her or something, and
Dragging
Yeah.
around the house,
Lawrence
baby sitting on the
Phillips?
couch.
Lawrence Phillips can kill people.
Oh, is
and
that
beat
what's
them
his name? The guy from Dallas, that defensive lineman.
might have
Hardy.
been. Oh, Greg Hardy.
Greg Hardy.
No,
Nah,
Oh, Greg.
this is a running back.
Greg Hardy also too. Damn, yo, stop
No,
beating on
up.
women.
Greg
Y'all
Hardy was
damn.
gangster. He had all his guns on his bed and threw her on the bed and beat her up and like, look at all these guns. I was like, ooh, that's a cold.
Greg Hardy
Word.
ain't right in the mind. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, I ain't even say his name. I was talking about Greg Hardy from the Hardy Boys books.
Mhm.
He might come after me. All right, one last thing. Do we want to touch the best rapper alive thing?
Yes. Oh wait, rappers, my bad.
I'm always
Stacey.
down to talk music.
That's who it was. Zach Stacey.
Oh, Zach Stacey. There you go.
Played
Yeah,
for
which
Buffalo.
he played for y'all too, didn't he?
Nah.
Zach Stacey never played for the Rams?
He never played for the Rams.
They played for the Cowboys?
Nah, he talking about
No,
the Rams.
No,
I
I
thought
thought
about
for sure
the Cowboys. He
Zach
did play-
Stacey played for the. Hold on, now
He
I'm
might
gonna-
have.
I think he did.
He might have, yeah.
He did.
I feel like Zach Stacey was available.
So did Suge Knight.
2013.
Yeah, he did.
But
Yeah, he
if you
did.
want to play
He's on
these
the practice
games,
squad.
didn't LaShawn McCoy get pinched for that too? For beating up his girl?
He was a Pimp slap. No, just kidding. No, hitting of no woman of any
He
kind
just
is right. Let me
shook her.
not.
He shook her to get her attention. Is what he did.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
man,
Just kidding.
I don't have me on that. Hey, man, look, it was wrong. It was all
anyway
wrong.
you slice it. I'm not defending none of these cats, but it's like it's these dudes need to have some type of anger management that's associated with their career as well, because you can't have these dudes this big, this much testosterone, this much like aggression, and then just turn it off like a switch when I go home, right? Like sometimes that aggression just can't get turned off, and these guys can't compartmentalize the aggression they use on the field for their job versus the aggression they have just normally as a human being. And these dudes are too big, too much aggression, and just like running free in the world. I think absolutely they should have like some type of clinic, some type of like program in the NFL that helps these dudes deal with aggression, which also goes and coincides with the fact that these guys have so much CTE, right? Where like a lot of these guys, with all the damage that's happened to their brain, and it just turns into aggression, and that aggression is either played out against themselves or somebody else.
Right.
Yeah, I think CTE, I mean, it sucks that they can only, detect it after you die, but they need to build some kind of test, there's got to be something they can do to at least say, hey, you got like early onset of it. Or we should probably just assume, if you played football for X amount of years, you do have some degree
especially
of CTE.
especially
have
certain
wellness
positions.
checks.
Offensive linemen probably have,
Yeah.
and defensive linemen probably have the highest propensity for CTE because the collisions are almost virtually every play.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine
Linebackers-
how many of these fighters have that?
I was going to say that too. How many
Boxing?
concussions have those guys had?
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 But these guys die, right? So it's even worse, right? Because how many, as a percentage of population, how many boxers have either died in the ring or just out of the ring? Like in our lifetime, we've witnessed dudes die in the ring.
Not many.
I've seen at least 3 guys die in the ring.
Three?
Hmm?
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying that's not many, but yeah.
How
I
many
get what
players
you're
have we
saying.
seen? NFL players, NBA players seen die on the basketball court? 0.
Lynn Bias.
Hank Gathers.
Yeah.
Hank Gathers.
Hank Gathers.
Oh, but that's genetics, though.
That's true.
Oh, okay. And I meant to say Hank Gathers, by the way. Lynn Bias died of a drug overdose. My bad.
Oh, I was in that one. See, I thought both of them did. I'm over here. Yeah. Got me. All right. Well, shit. Okay, let's move on. We got 10. We'll get to the best rapper alive next week. Y'all good with that?
Yes, that's going to be hard. It's going to be a debate. It's going to be subjective. And P's going to say Ice Cube.
That's
79
right.
to
That's
or,
right.
or DJ Quick.
2021.
He's going to say one of those two.
Hey, I'm with both of those.
Ice Cube.
All right, man. I swear, Luda set us up with this stuff, and then he doesn't even show up for it. But I guess we could talk.
I'm
about
actually
it.
going to lean just a little bit on that one. I'm going to go with that because Ice Cube wrote a whole other group's all they rap songs. So he wrote all his raps, wrote an entire other group rap songs, who are, by the way, one of the most prolific groups ever. So he
100%.
is the reason why a prolific group exists, along with his own career.
He's
On
the
top of the fact
Godfather.
that he parlayed that into one of the like a movie franchise, right? So you look at his entire body of work.
Which begs the question as to why he wasn't at the Super Bowl. As
I
something.
was gonna say,
That
honestly,
begs
the
the
only
question.
way that could have been better is if they would have brought
His
out DJ Quick
last song-
and Ice Cube.
Cube,
like-
like yay, and that would have set
Just-
that whole place on
Yo.
fire.
Just make it a
Yeah.
whole West Coast. You already got people crip walking. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I love Eminem and I love 50. Neither one of them are from West Coast.
I feel like
You know what I'm
that
saying?
Yeah.
those dudes declined. I feel like the probably the restrictions and like all the
Yeah.
like the things they had to comply with to be able to perform. They were like, nah, I'm not doing it. Same thing with the
Because
game.
I feel like 50 and Game should have been together. Cut Mary J to one song and have Cube finish that thing off. I think
Yo,
that
why did Mary have to perform No More Drama?
I don't know. That took the tone down because it was
Right. I
It was
was
like mm-mm.
I thought they were just like she was gonna do an excerpt and it was gonna lead into something else, which it did, but it took so long to get
Mhm.
there. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I
Yeah,
did like
that's
that
probably-
Kendrick did we all right, we gonna be all right. I did like that.
He should have did humble though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You like that shit?
Yeah, be humble. But they probably
But
could.
I know why you know why he did. We gonna be all right. because he had to fit in, the police want to kill us for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like he had to figure out ways. I like
they made those dudes change their lyrics. They made those dudes,
Yeah.
Omit certain verses. You know what I mean? So it's like that's probably why Cube didn't come out there. Cube was
Probably.
like, "Nah, I ain't about it." You know what I mean? Like,
Probably.
I'm gonna keep it 100. Don't get it fucked up. That is America's Most Wanted right there. You know what I mean? Like KKK Most Wanted.
I went
How
back
you
and
gonna go
listened
from
to
lynch
Cube.
mob into the dude you gonna have on?
No, man. I went back and listened to Cube. I forgot how angry he was in the early
Super.
90s. Angry.
Super. Yeah, super. Boy,
Corny
he
little
was
devil, dude. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, man. All right, let's get to third quarter, what men think, and kind of what I was saying. We had decided this week, we as a group had decided this was going to be a Black History Month edition because we haven't really tapped in on Black History Month at all. Which is fine. It's every month for me. But I guess let's just talk about a couple of things. We might have talked about this last year, and I'm sorry if we are rehashing, but I didn't feel like going back to last February's and asking or seeing if whether we did this. But let's just talk about BHM, Black History Month. What does it mean to you guys first and foremost?
I feel like it's all these months to me feel a little commercial to me. I am happy that the powers that be are acknowledging it. But to your point, I'm Black every day. So, I acknowledge the things that we've done, and I know the things that we've done. And I don't really know that other people besides Black people really tune in to really try to dig deeper on the things that they talk about as it pertains to Black history, Latino history or whatever. But, I'm the type of person that's going to educate myself. But, I like the fact that we get holidays or whatever. It doesn't mean that much to me anymore.
Hims?
Yeah.
P, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because even in September, I'm not. That's our month.
Yeah.
And
Yours is, isn't it like September 15th to like October 15th? Isn't it like the mid-month?
I don't even know. Maybe it is.
Yeah.
Like that's how much like I'm into it.
Yeah.
All I know is I think September 16th is Mexican something day. Mexican Independence. Yeah.
Yeah.
They beat the French or some shit like that. I don't. That goes to show how much I'm into it.
Yeah.
So I agree with what Nick said. It does seem a little commercialized, and I will say in February it does seem like they try to raise more awareness for Black History Month than they do in September. Maybe because they realize that, I don't know, people just don't seem to be too into it in September, and I know I'm one of them that's not. So, but I think it's a good thing that they keep trying. The powers that be, like he said. But I'm just
Hims?
It's always like a tough conversation because history is like about narration, right? And who always the winners of that time period are the ones who write history, right? So Black history still is like a watered down version of what actually has occurred, right? And they spin up, rightfully so, the most positive aspects of the contributions of Black Americans in the United States, but they're fighting tooth and nail to bury the unfortunate aspects of it. And I don't want it to be called Black history anymore. I just want it just to be history, and history in all its aspects is taught every month of the year. And that's really what it boils down to for me. And then I think finally, it's great about the recognition of a lot of great things that are happening and really trying to drive, a certain aspect of our society forward. But if we can't agree and acknowledge on facts, or we would like to really highlight certain facts of history, then what's the point, right? So I don't want my child just learning about who made peanut butter or who invented the first refrigerator and things like that. Like that's what you get out of Black history. But there's been so much more to it. There's so much more contributions to society than just a couple of inventions. And that's what we're taught when we're growing up. So you're like, oh, I can be whatever too. Yeah, but now the version, I guess we fast forward 20 years and be like, Obama was the first Black president. Okay, great, right? But there's still so much more that we contribute. I think history should just be taught, and history should encapsulate a lot of different things and not just a single month where we focus on Black history. We should be focusing on all history every month.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100% with you. And honestly, at the end of the day, I'm grateful that we have a Black History Month. It stinks that it's the shortest month of the year. And it also stinks that really, for the most part of my life, with the exception of the last couple of years, it really hasn't even been that big of a deal. I hate that, when my son goes to school, they spend 2 weeks of it. Last year they spent 2 weeks of it talking about Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks. They added in Ruby Bridges, and then they talked about John Henry, a fictional Black character. And it was like, yo, there's so much more. What about, Langston Hughes? I mean, if we just start at the basics, right? What about Langston Hughes? What about Malcolm X? What about Cassius Clay? What about all these other, just like, let's just the basics, and they never really seem to tap in on those. Then at the end of the day, of course, for me personally, we teach all the time. I will say, as much as I talk black this, black that, I'll be honest with you guys, I hate that it's like that. I hate that I feel like I have to throw extra emphasis on it in order to get some sort of recognition, period. Otherwise, everything is so swayed the other way, in terms of just who the focus is on. And when you go out in the stores, I told Casey this the other day, but when you go out in the stores, it's crazy. When I go into a store and I hear like R&B music or like some jazz, or something like that, like it makes me feel more at home than hearing country music or soft rock all the time, because it's all the time, it's everywhere. Like that's the acceptable music is white music. When you see shows, it's white shows. I'm like, you don't see us, you know what I'm saying? And I think somebody was talking the other day about how for kids it sucks because when they look at their heroes, for example, like the Marvel superheroes and things of that nature, they're all white. You know what I'm saying? When you look at Jesus, it's white. You know what I'm saying? When they look at a bunch of stuff, it's all white. And so at the end of the day, it confuses them, and they figure, well, our skin isn't right. Our skin tone isn't right because, everything and everybody in some sort of, position of power or, with superpowers, that's great that we look up to, that's so much lighter than us. And I hate that. I really wish that all changed and it wasn't such a hard thing to do.
I think we're still in the transitional point of that process, right? Because, they got the first Black Spider-Man, they got the first Black superhero in Black Panther. And then that entire franchise, they're actually trying to push more about the female, I guess, tigresses or pantheresses, I guess, whatever. They're really trying to make, a lot of put a lot of energy behind that. So I think we're in a transitional point. I think we're probably in candidacy another generation out from like seeing like some real change, right? Because like the things we grew up watching, we don't have as much of that for you guys' kids. So remember, we were growing up watching Spider-Man and his amazing friends, 100% all white. Superman, all white. All the superheroes, all white. But now we're starting to see a lot of different, minority groups and different, skin tones and different backgrounds, like the Shang-Chi, right? Superhero, part of Marvel, right? So they're trying to introduce a lot more than just the white aspect of growing up. So I think, by your kids' generation, your kids being our generation, it'll be a much different conversation than we are having right now.
I hope so, man. They're all mixed anyways.
I got one more thought about, not one more thought, but I don't think that the whole Black movement is really going to take shape until we stop being our worst enemies collectively. And I think the like playing devil's advocate, when you look at people who are, racist, alt-right, whatever, their biggest argument is, okay, well, you want us to treat you a certain way, but in your community, you guys don't even treat each other in that way. So, we're even to this day, and I think it's across the board by race, but it's really specific to Black because I'm Black. The probability of me being murdered by anybody other than a Black person is the highest probability of me being murdered, right? So if we're
that's a biased, I'm going to cut that one short.
It's not biased.
It is because it's not like white people travel to your neighborhood to go murder you, Jamal.
But I'm just saying when you look at the murder stats,
because it's in the same community. They live in the same neighborhood.
No, but I live in the suburbs, not around a lot of Black people.
Then you're probably not going to get murdered by a Black person.
But I still think if I'm getting murdered, it's going to be a Black person.
Maybe black police officer, possibly, but that's
I don't
about
know.
as close as
Okay,
you're
well,
gonna get.
look.
I can only go with the numbers.
You
Anyway,
go south
and
of
the
Young Street
numbers,
a
what they
little bit
did,
harder
they-
into Norco.
right? Okay, but
They-
see, you didn't let me finish my second point because what I
Go
was
ahead.
going to
I'm
say
sorry.
is
I
that's
apologize. But
perpetuated-
when people use that statistics, I always like the
All right, but
caveat to it's like,
right,
yes,
there's-
because you live in a black impoverished neighborhood, generally speaking, black
Okay.
impoverished neighborhood. It's not like whites or Mexicans travel into your neighborhood to go murder you and then go back to their homes. That doesn't work like that. It's just
All
the
right.
people in your community
it's
have access
also
to you.
perpetuated by the media as well. Obviously, on the news, they, whenever there's a suspect, he was black. Like I saw one yesterday where I saw the picture. It was a Middle Eastern dude. They said it was a black dude. So obviously, the cards are stacked against us to a certain degree.
Mhm.
But we still need to be better to each other collectively as a race
I
for
agree.
us to get more traction
facts.
on the movement.
These are
So-
facts.
I
These are
agree.
facts.
I agree.
And then
And it's all-
go ahead. I'm sorry, real quick. My second
No,
point,
no.
we can talk about this or not talk about this because I'm not really that educated on it, but critical race theory. What do you guys think about that? But let's not go to that before we finish our thoughts on this.
What?
I stumped the Schwab.
Yeah, I'm Googling that real quick.
Okay, so you're not really well versed on it, probably because they don't talk about it in Arizona because they don't want to do it. I
No,
don't
at
know
all.
how I feel about it. Where they're making it mandatory to take critical race theory in, I think, high school or even like in school. Make that it's a curriculum now where you have to talk about like they sent out flyers to parents like, hey, we're going to be talking about critical race theory. You can opt in or opt out. I personally don't want I don't want anybody teaching my kids about race theory. I think that's my job as a parent because there's so many biases that, as we all know, take place, and things can just be like I personally don't think a person who's not black could tell people about how black people feel about the race and the way that they've been treated. I honestly don't think I can't tell a white person what it's like to be a white person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would agree
think
with that.
It's your parents that need to do that.
I would say to that, in looking at this, I would be okay with Tyson taking this course.
Okay.
And I would honestly probably, if he was on the fence, probably push him towards it. But to your point, it would depend on who's teaching you. I have nothing against Tyson's current school, but there's nobody Black at that in terms of, a teacher. There's not even, there might be a Hispanic, but, other than that, they're all, very Wonder Bread. And I'm not, saying that they don't understand the plight, but they don't understand it nearly enough. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, let me sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead.
I was going to shift gears. I want you to finish your thought first. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying I wouldn't want them to be the ones to teach them that.
Okay.
So,
got it. So now that P's back, I just wanted to test my theory. Hey, Pete, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
If you were to be murdered,
Oh, Jesus.
I know it's
Okay.
Sorry, this is just
Welcome back.
takes a
Yeah,
different
whoa.
swing. If you were to be murdered, which
Okay.
race of a person do you think would be the most probable that would murder you?
Probably my own.
Okay. That's what, because and I think it's perpetuated mostly by the media and whatnot, but I think there are some teeth to it too, because I made that comment about, a black person's probably the most highest probability of a person that would murder me. And then KD and Rick took offense to it, which is
I didn't take
right.
offense to it. I
Okay,
just the
well,
counter
well,
argument. The counter.
Okay, they had a counter to it. So, okay.
What was the counter?
The counter is you're more than likely to get statistically, yes, you're more than likely to get killed by a member of your own community because they're in your community. It's not like someone from outside of your community comes to your community and kills you. So the people who have access to you are the ones that are most likely to kill you, or the people that you are already known to associate with are more than likely going to kill you. It's not going to be some Asian guy just like, hey man, got into it at whatever liquor store, drove all the way to your house and then murdered you. It's more than likely somebody already in your community, which was probably predominantly the same ethnicity as you.
Right. Yeah. So wait, how's that a counter?
It's apparently that's a counter to Jamal. Jamal saying it's more statistically, it's more than likely he would get murdered by another African American person in life. If he would be murdered, it'd be more than likely an African American. I said yes, this is true, but that's a biased statistic because it's not also highlighting the fact of it's not like you got murdered by a black person in an all white community.
Right. Oh yeah, I got you. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, it's because in Black community, you're around Black people.
Black people.
In a Hispanic
That's
community,
weird.
you're around
So it's a number.
Hispanic
It's a
people.
numbers
Right.
game for the most part. Okay, which I don't disagree with, but I think some of our if it was us, like we don't live. I don't live in a predominantly Black place. Like
Right.
you don't live in a predominantly Mexican place, right?
Right.
And KD, I know you don't live in a predominantly Black place because you live in Marina Del Rey.
Whoa, hey, for the listeners out there, they got my ass.
I mean, Marina Del Lucas. You live in
Got
Marina
him.
Del
Go ahead, put my
Marina
address
Del
up
Reyna.
on the screen too.
Yeah, no, nigga. Well, I live in Arizona. I'm telling you, if it's anything, it's white people. They come and capture me.
Yeah, that I believe.
Yeah.
I believe that over there. Yeah, you're outnumbered.
Yeah, I am outnumbered. They hate my Black ass, but it's all right. No, they don't.
They love you.
I'm about to say, here we go. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
I know where he's
Wait.
going.
Yeah, I
with
know
that.
you
Here we
know
go.
it. I know you know
I
I'm
know-
going.
I know he loves you for sure. That's what I do know.
I do love Rick. You know what I mean?
And certain things, yo. Hey, look, don't fuck up around these guys. Just so y'all know, they will never,
Hey, that's what
ever,
friendships and
ever.
family's
I-
about, man.
I feel like Kenny Hens just took you to the rabbit hole, dude. You jumped feet first.
I know.
Into it, is what you
No, I did. And now I'm trying to get right back up out. I'm
All
not.
right, let's go. Keep moving.
All
there
right,
we go.
so let's keep moving. All right, so with that, a couple other questions. Just Black related. When we talked about Black actors and actresses before, right? Who are some of your favorites? I think we've gone down that, right? Okay, so let's skip that one because that was one that they brought up. What would you say if you were? How about this? If you were to put somebody on to Black culture, I'm gonna say, yo, I've never seen anything Black culture. All right, we're gonna do this in 3 different genres or 3 different things. We're gonna do movies, we're gonna do shows, and then we're gonna do music. Okay, I need a top 3 for music. I'm sorry, for movies. Like if you were to tell somebody about Black culture, what would be 3 movies that you say, yo, you gotta see?
Friday's got to be on that list.
Okay, I agree.
Boys of Hood's got to be. Damn it.
Okay, right,
Boys of
but
Hood.
hold on, Katie, but that goes back. That's stereotyping and perpetuating us. 'Cause
It
that's
is.
not us.
Yep.
You
I
said
didn't
Black
live there.
culture?
those,
Come
yeah.
on, man.
Yeah.
I
I don't
didn't
know if
live
I
there.
pick those movies.
Come on. You want to say poetic justice?
No, I'm just like, how do you want to frame it, right? How do you want to? Because I thought about that too. Like, Training Day, right? Like that's us.
Yeah.
Well, that's not us. It's
All
not.
right, fair enough.
There's some
All right,
of us,
fair
but
enough.
that's
Fair
not
enough.
us.
So, all right, fair enough.
Well, that's a tough question, right?
Because I was gonna say Fresh Prince. Like I would put him to that Cosby Show. Like that's more the stuff that I'm.
I think
used to
the
with
shows
Black-
are easier. I think the
Right.
shows are easier than the
Right.
movies.
Because the shows show life.
right. Family Matters.
Movies show like a certain situation that someone might be in. That's the
Good
movie.
point.
A show
Yeah.
shows,
Right.
Well,
Family Matters in?
Family Matters.
hold on.
Family
You jump into
Matters.
shows. You jump
Okay,
into
sorry.
shows. I need
Sorry.
movies.
Okay.
movies.
That's a great question.
All right, I'll go with my 3 because I've always got movies. I don't give a shit.
The Wood.
The Wood is a great one.
Great one.
Guys
Yeah.
growing up together,
Yeah, that's
friends
a good
growing
one.
up, you know.
That's a good one.
That is a very, very good one. I didn't even think about that one.
That's a good one.
Damn,
That one's life.
Well,
Guys
that-
growing up from kids to men.
Was it like
Yep.
Best Man's Wedding or Best Friend's Wedding or the one with Tay Diggs and Morris Chestnut where they were groomsmen,
That's
they got
the-
into a fight.
The Best Man.
Best Man.
Yeah, the best man. Yeah,
I was gonna say like Hidden Figures because that one was also inspirational. As hell.
Yeah.
Hidden Figures. I like that.
And the Wiz, back then they had like I don't know.
You gotta go to
hella
The
aging
Wiz.
ourselves, but that's another great movie.
Nah, The Wiz is a classic. You gotta have that.
It's tough.
Boomerang.
For my biracial types out there,
Boomerang's not a bad. That's not a bad one.
That's
either.
on my list. That's on my
not a bad
list.
one
B.
either.
Boomerang is on my list. Yeah, you
That's a
gotta
great
have
movie,
Boomerang.
yeah.
I love
Soul
how the
Plane?
Mexican cat
No,
on,
not
on the
Soul Plane.
show's got the best black movies. Go ahead, Eddie B.
I know.
Let me come up
plugged
with
in.
my 3rd one now. The 3rd one will take some thinking.
Oh, what's that one with Nia Long? Not Nia Long. And Most Def.
No Steph.
Most Def, Tay Diggs, and Brown Sugar, I want to say.
No. Yes.
That's a good
Well,
one.
yeah, Brown Sugar was the one where he was yeah,
The rapper, like he has this aspiring like producer or something like that, or
yeah,
or
yeah,
mhm.
yeah, it was Brown Sugar. Yeah.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
that's the one with fucking Wesley Snipes where he's a drug dealer, but that's
No,
Sugar Hill.
Jack City.
That's Sugar Hill. No, Sugar
Damn,
Hill.
I completely
Sugar Hill too.
forgot that Mos Def was in that
Damn,
movie.
he played that
Yeah.
twice. So he
That was
Sugar
Annihilation.
Hill and in
New Jack
New
City.
Jack City.
You know what I would say too? I would say Boys in the Hood, but from Trey's character point of view, right? Because
He got
you know,
out.
Oh yeah.
because
Mhm.
Trey, his mom was living in Baldwin Hills, but his dad was living in the hood, and that's a situation that happens.
And,
but
and
Trey
look at
didn't
how
get
his
to-
dad.
but he had
look how his
friends,
dad was.
he associated with friends that were doing some stuff. So I feel
Yeah.
like that's a fairly decent representation of the plight, right? The struggle.
That's it, man. I mean, everything else
Yeah.
can turn into like comedies or like situational stuff like that.
Right.
That he
Which you
keeps.
gotta have comedies. If you're teaching us about the culture, that's why for me, I gotta have a movie like oh my god, now I'm blanking on the name. Oh my god. All right, I'll come back. Sorry. Why am I blanking on the name? Oh, hold on.
What was that movie with the first black superhero?
Harlem Nights.
Oh, that's another great one.
Vampire in Brooklyn.
Nah, I was thinking. Oh,
Blade.
I don't. That's the only
Life,
movie I've
I-
ever seen a black vampire in ever.
Blade.
Is he a vampire?
Yeah, Blade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a vampire.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right, for me, so you gotta have Harlem Nights because Harlem Nights has Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Della Reese, Bernie Mac. Like it's
That had
basically
an
got
all-star cast of the greatest comedians just about that we've ever produced.
Oh my god.
ever. So when you talk about understanding black culture and black comedian, you know what I'm saying, and the way that we, tell jokes, act, and things of that nature, to me, that you gotta have that.
so Meteor Man's not on that list.
No. But I mean, hey, if you really want some stupid shit, Meteor Man, Senseless, Lil Man,
What's the one with Damon
Don't be in South
Wayans?
Central, but drinking juice. In the hood.
The other
Old
guy,
Money?
not other guy.
Handyman.
No,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
No, he's a superhero,
Oh,
like the
Dumbass superhero, yeah.
It's
Blank
like
Man.
Blank Man.
Blank Man.
Blank Man.
Man.
Hey, call me Susan.
Yeah.
You gotta have Pootie Tang, you know what
Oh
I'm saying?
no. No, that's where I draw the line, dude.
Hey,
That's
man,
how
on the
Pootie
wild
Tang.
side.
I
Hey,
can't.
Pootie Tang is amazing. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
My
man.
Damie.
I can't, man. That set us back 37 years right there.
Nah.
It did.
I love it.
Oh my goodness.
I love
I was
it.
gonna say maybe Think Like a Man. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
that maybe not so much as far as like black culture. That's more like relationships
Yeah.
and people.
Mhm.
It's
You
a
know.
little chauvinistic too, but it's but
Yeah.
I think all guys can relate to that movie, not just
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta have Harlem Nights. I feel like you gotta have either Love Jones or Boomerang. I don't care which one. I probably Boomerang because Boomerang is more of the different dynamics. Once again, it's a comedy and it's love. It shows a bunch
And it
of
shows
different
also
sides
black
of us.
folks like in a light where they're out hustling, right? They're out like executives.
They're
making shit
successful.
happen. Mhm.
Yep. And then you gotta have a hood classic, and it's gotta be like Friday. Fuck it, because at the end of the day, that is a part of our culture. That is a part of us. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
there are levels to us, and that's it. But it could go on forever. I mean, and it's tough, right? Because immediately your first 3 all-time classics, it don't put us in the best light. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. But they're classics.
KD
You know what
sure
I'm saying?
didn't.
Yeah, no. That's why you can't be quick. All right, so then okay, we got movies. Let's get to the shows. So let's get to the shows. 3.
I feel like I nailed them, but
Yeah.
those are the
Yeah,
those are my
I think you did good. Go ahead. We say them again.
as what I said, Cosby Show,
Yep.
Fresh Prince, and
Yep.
Family Matters. I like those are all 3 wholesome shows in my opinion that show us in a good light.
I'm taking Family Matters out because we already kind of got that with Fresh Prince, and I'm putting in Martin. Once again,
Okay.
for me, you always have to have that, like we
Yeah.
snap on each other, we make jokes, you know what I'm saying? Like this is us.
Martin.
Yeah.
Martin always,
Oh, fuck.
yeah.
And to a lesser degree, Marlon. It's kind of like Martin.
Marlon is weird.
Marlon,
You know?
his show is funny though.
Yeah, no,
I
it
used
is.
to like it.
It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. Those are the first 3 shows I showed my son: Cosby Show, Fresh Prince, and Martin.
I'm gonna go in Living Color. I'm gonna
Oh.
go.
I like that.
Probably either. Not the Jeffersons because it's too old.
Let's say Good Times.
I want to say Good Times too, but it's too
Yeah, but-
old, right? So who else can relate to that? But probably Family Matters is gonna be in there.
I mean, I think a lot of black folks can relate to that,
Fair enough. So then,
right?
More black folks.
They nailed it, really.
Good Times.
That
More
one,
black folks.
it is old, but
Mm. Yeah, you're not wrong, but we want to distance ourselves from that if we can.
yeah.
Or The
I
The
mean,
Rock.
yeah.
That used to be another great show.
Because James lost his job every other episode. I'm like, how many times has he lose his job?
Oh shit.
What was the third one, Katie?
So it was either gonna. It was the tough part was gonna be who to flip in that third spot. So it could be Good Times. It could have been Stanford Sons. It could have been
Oh, you gotta have Sanford and Son.
What's Happening. It could have been because
Yeah.
like there's in the
Lingerie
80s.
Run.
There's a
What's
lot of like
happening? Oh shit.
Yeah.
a lot of great shows in the 80s,
Hell
but
yeah.
it's dating ourselves. So probably Fresh Prince, probably In Living Color, and probably Family Matters. Because even in Family Matters, the dad was a cop. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, like you're spinning up the fact that it's a black cop and he's doing the right thing. And even in there's episodes of that show where he is a black cop being discriminated. So like it helps for people who don't want to hear certain things or just want to say it's always great. Like even in the show, they try to depict that. And that was 80. I mean, it wasn't the 80s. So that's like 20 years ago, 30 years ago. We're still like fighting some of the same
Family
battles,
Matters?
but And
Family
Family Matters. So what happened was his son was at
That dude's always a cop. Everything he's in is a
is.
cop.
Die Hard.
Yeah.
His son, something had happened where he was at a police station. He had to go pick his son up, and then some other white cops had to like detained him, or whatever. And then what
Yeah.
they didn't realize is like his dad was a cop when he got there, and they were like talking a mess, and then he put him in a place, and him and his son like dipped. That was a short story of that. I mean, short version of that. But the show itself, it's got the great nucleus. The dad's a cop, so it's like blue collar type of situation. Because when you think about Cosby shows, you want to portray black folks in a really great light, like the mom's a lawyer, the dad's a doctor, the kids are all going to private schools, but that's not like a typical family, especially back in the 80s, that you would like kind of put out there. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the dad's like a baller ass judge, and the mom's like this, and the sister's an actress, and this and this and that. Like, okay, still, how many black folks live in? If you want to really depict the story, you need to make it like a more tangible, like everybody else can relate to. And those, while I do portray black folks in like really great light, can people connect to that? Depends.
So
right?
damn it, we're back to Good Times then. Damn it.
That's what I'm saying. It's Good Times and stuff like that. Like in Living Color, or Fresh,
Happy we got him.
right? The stuff that people can relate to. And they talk about hard stuff, but from a point of view of like it's the stuff that we go through, but it's still at the very end, it's always still a positive message.
So is
That's
Different
what
Strokes off the table then? Because
Nah.
I don't think that ever happened.
no.
I don't think that ever happened. No, I'm sorry. The African kid that got adopted by Angelina Jolie, he's probably the closest thing to Different Strokes.
Facts.
Nigga, no comments. Oh my god.
Her kid.
That shit. All of it. Nigga, I ain't got no comments. I'm gonna leave that one. P, do we get your 3 shows?
I kind of agreed with what Jamal was saying at first, and then instead of Family Matters, I said Good Times.
Okay.
Benson.
Oh,
Hey, oh god, not Benson.
oh my God, I forgot about that show.
Not Benson. Oh my god. Hey, look, you
That's
know what?
funny.
The fact that we're talking about old stuff, it doesn't bother me. Look, if we're being honest, and me and Mick talked about this kind of earlier today, a lot of the new shows, they're trash. I'm gonna just be real. I'm gonna be real with you. I mean, I like kind of what they're doing with some of them, but like we were talking about Fresh Prince in particular, and he was saying, I mean, it's in, for the purists. Yeah, I get it, right? Like we're only 4 episodes in, and you kind of see the flip that they're doing. I mean, I don't mind it compared to a lot of the other shows like Power or like what was the other one with Cookie and Luscious.
Oh, that's
that,
like
like
Empire.
Empire. Yeah, trash shows. You know what I'm saying? That for me,
That hurt
we
me.
talk
that you
about
said
stuff
Power
that
was trash. That hurt me. Hurt me a little.
well, trash. I'm sorry.
We disagree.
I'm
with you.
sorry.
bit. That hurt me.
I'm
It's okay.
sorry.
That's all right.
I
You got
can't,
Cisco,
but-
the Black
but you
Cisco and
have to-
Ebert. That's a new show for you and Rick. For Kitty and Rick, the new Black Cisco and Ebert, like the remix.
Hey, it's better than you and Luda being raining on men. Or what is it not?
Me and Pop Off.
You a pop off.
You a pop off, yeah. You'd have the high top, he'd have a little thing. Waiting.
We'll figure it out.
Oh man. All right. So the third and last one, we gotta get to music. Now I'm not gonna say albums because at first I was gonna say albums. Let's just say artists. So if you were to say 3 artists discography that you must go through, where are you going? I got mine. I'm gonna just tell you real. Mine is Earth, Wind, and Fire. Mine is Snoop Dogg, and mine is Jay-Z. Those 3. You've got different levels. Those are the 3 that I feel like you have. If you want to understand,
I mean, I like what you did, but I'm thinking like conscious rappers, like Common, like he's a conscious, black activist type rapper. And I'm not qualified to really speak on this, so I'm just going off the top of my head.
Okay.
What about like back in the 90s where you had like the Poor Righteous Teachers and
Public Enemy.
Public Enemy and who
I like that.
Like who is it? What they do? I can't remember the name.
Oh yeah,
The Roots.
The Roots. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
those guys were really trying to put it on for the culture as a whole, and not just talk about the drugs they sold and the women they bagged, that kind of stuff. So
well,
I
mean, and that's why I picked Snoop and Jay-Z. Snoop went to fucking reggae. He made gospel. You know what I'm saying? Snoop's been all over the place.
He had a show with Martha Stewart.
And he had a show with Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
Jay-Z, yes, he started talking about drugs at first too, but he has since done a whole lot, including an album just dedicated to his relationship after he fucked over Beyonce. Look, we fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z has matured. He's gone the gambit. And on top of that, all of their albums will introduce you to so many more. It'll allow you to branch out. You know what I'm saying? Like I love.
You're not wrong.
Absolutely.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I just want to introduce. I love the fact that you picked the Roots though. One of my most underrated people, and Black Thought, one of my favorite rappers of all time.
Arrested Development.
Yeah.
Arrested Development. Yeah. I mean, I'm waiting on somebody to say Tribe Called Quest because that definitely should be up there too.
Tribe. I meant to say Tribe too. But you mentioned this earlier. Like if you've never heard the Love Jones album, go listen to that. There's every song on that album is ridiculously good.
By the way, he also means Love Jones and then the Velvet Rope.
Yeah, and Velvet Rope if you really want to get have some quiet time with yourself.
With yourself.
I mean, read into it however you want to read into it. Just saying.
With yourself. Janet Jackson serenading him with every stroke.
Yes. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Oh God! Watch Janet Jackson streams go up after this episode. There we go. What else y'all got? I know I'm putting it on you, Kenny. I see your mind.
It's too hard, man. To pocket into three slots.
Yeah,
that's a tough one, right? Because there's been so much great music that gives so many different facets of what it is to be Black. You know what I mean? Even songs that like they're like uplifting, like I mean, I do, because it's also like you got to think about like who changed the culture, who changed things. Like Prince changed music, right? And
actually, you're right. Why not?
You're right.
Yeah.
Like he changed music.
Michael Jackson. If you throw Prince, I was gonna put Mike in there too.
Yeah, I was exactly.
I was gonna say
changed music.
I think I'm going to change my Snoop pick for Mike. I mean, and I know I am the guy when it's Mike versus Prince, and I recognize how good Prince is and what he did. I'm still a Mike guy. I am. So
Prince brought like sexuality into it and all this, like all kinds of stuff. So it's like, oh, how do I put this into 3? But because there's been so many great entertainers that have just changed society, not just Black culture, but changed society. So I'm just trying to look at an even macro level. Like, this is difficult, right? Because it's like, what facet do you want to like focus on, right? So like you said, like Black Thought.
Yeah, Black Thought.
You know what I mean? Like just all of that. Like it's just, I don't know, it's impossible. But if I had to give 3 to sum that up, probably Prince, Tribe Called Quest would be also interchangeable with what was the name of the group with Talib Kweli and
That was Black Star.
Black
Star.
Star.
Yeah.
Because those dudes, like, talent-wise was out of control, but they had like something to say. There was a message behind everything they were saying. So it's like message. Or and then like just like outright soul. You know what I mean? Like now we just talk about like soul singers. Like that's an entire population of people where like they start playing that.
We don't even get into the singers.
You just shut it down, right? So I don't know. Like I just keep it like nice and copacetic, probably Earth, Wind, and Fire too, but that's almost like too generic.
But now that we moved the line a little bit, and I don't want to spin this off, but Cube look, we talked about this already. Cube stuck up for us in the early 90s and kind of just told us how it was. And he was pushing back. He was pointing back at the establishment. So
where you say you have Cube, you have oh my God, Chuck D.
Because you gotta like you gotta say rap, you gotta say like R&B, you gotta talk soul, like it's just too much.
Yeah.
To put in the 3 slots. Too big.
You can't. You're right.
I will say when it comes to arts, I think music is the one thing that Black people truly have had their finger on, maybe the most, and have influenced
the culture,
other genres. Yeah, exactly. And the culture as a whole, the most. I mean, we've done it all. You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna be singing that damn Mariah Carey song to the end of time every Christmas. Every Christmas. You know how paid she is off of one song once a year?
Yeah.
So it's like how do you in the microcosm of the discussion topic right now, like how do you put, where do you put that, right? Because she literally has her Christmas built around her now. So that song built around Christmas, that song's built around her, right? People get so geeked up every Christmas just to hear that damn song.
But it's funny because there's an equal amount of people who cannot hear that one more time, right?
I cannot.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I don't want to hear this shit.
Yeah.
Bah humbug. P, what you got?
Ice Cube, as far as rap, yeah, I would agree with that. What was it? Oh, I got to agree with Prince and Michael Jackson. I mean, how do you not have them in there? For me, it would probably be those 3.
You're the one that told me that Roger Nelson was Prince's real name. I didn't know that till you.
That's right. Prince is his middle name.
Did y'all know that Michael Jackson was really a Crip?
No. I know that he had tattoo hairline, which I'm thinking about getting.
Hilarious. How you gonna have a tattoo hairline, no hair?
And then I'm just gonna I could just spray the color in from there and just have it be like a shadow fade.
Easy LeBron. Like actually they tattoo that part too, so you can have like a little Cavallis haircut.
It's gonna hurt
the rest of your life.
It's gonna hurt, but they won't know till I'm dead.
You may as well go get the rug that they put on, they fertilize and they line up.
You've seen that.
That could get wet though.
But the Black people don't never look right, dude. Man, come on to the hair. Bosley hair. No, we don't never look right. Ever.
Oh, that's too funny. All right, real quick, you know how I like to do this, man. What new are you guys watching this week? Throw them out there. People really love our suggestions. We've alluded to it a couple times. I watched The Fresh Prince. I'm still watching Grand. Damn it, now I can't think of it. Grand. Help me out.
Grand Prix.
Grand Crew.
Hold on. With that.
Yes.
Mick, do you want to put it out there? You can figure this out.
Well, but I don't know that everybody's watched it though. Like, so I don't.
Okay.
KD hasn't even watched it, right?
What's that?
Oh, you haven't?
Grand Crew.
I watched the first episode. I put y'all on.
Okay, but you haven't seen it since then?
No, because I went into it.
Then it's not going to make sense.
Yeah, see, it's got to make
sense. Mick has figured out
I figured out pretty much all the characters, man.
Yeah, and he's spot on. He's pretty fucking.
Who are they in relation to who we know or to who we know?
Yeah, to who we know. To who we know. So, but you got to watch. Like, if you're not into it, you won't see it. So, I'll save that. We can talk about that when we get out in Arizona. We'll talk about it.
Okay, hold on, real quick. Look, Darkness has chimed into the comments. He said for the music, De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, and Snoop. Then he just started. Why did he just keep? We said 3. He said, check the comments. He got Public Enemy, Jill Scott, Prince, Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Marvin.
It's too many.
If we had 10.
Right. Just keep checking boxes.
God damn it. I love Black people. We are the epitome of give us an inch. We will try our damnness to take a mile. Y'all still owe us 40 acres.
Right. And 15 minutes of fame, dude. We're still looking for our 15 minutes.
Hey, man, we out there. All right. What else are y'all watching this week?
So I've been watching Reacher, and I'd like
Reacher?
Alan Richards,
Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye.
If you ever watched, what was it called? Blue Mountain State. Anybody watch that?
Oh,
Okay, well, you guys, I forget you guys don't watch the shows that I watch. So,
well, no. Yeah, he's like, yeah. You ever seen
can't
girls on the pole?
some stuff I like. Sorry. Anyway, Reacher's good. Reacher was good. Reacher was good.
Yeah.
Do you watch these sober? No, I'm just kidding.
I like to be entertained. So you guys are always looking for the message and you, what did that?
That's
How did
not
this
true.
move? How did this
Not
move
true.
me?
I'm
Like, what is my?
Quality of work.
Why am I existing? I just want to be entertained and laugh. That's all I want.
That's it. Yeah.
That is it.
Reacher was
you
good.
know-
I liked Reacher. And then Ozark. I'm
Ozark.
getting
yes.
through Ozark.
I
right
went
now.
through it too. The problem is I always binge Ozark and get through it too fast. And now they left us hanging because they only gave us 7 episodes and we got to
Yeah.
wait for the rest. And now I'm like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
See, I'm only 2 into the 4th season. I don't know what happened. I think I got bored, but I need to get back to it and finish it up because Marty, man, I just feel for Marty at the end of the day, man.
Well, his
Marty,
son's getting crazy too now.
Yeah, nah, he should look. It should just be him and his daughter, man. Forget the son and forget his wife for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's losing her shit.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
forget his wife for sure. I'd have shit. And then I'd have bagged the big tall one. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, Marty. You know, you could do whatever. Marty even had a couple winners potentially, but it's all good. I will tell you one thing I did watch this week, and this is, I guess, to your point, Mick. I mean, I love the shit out of some documentaries. And I rewatched because I got the Showtime for free so that I could watch Yellow Jackets, which is crazy. I got through the 7 episodes, though. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be, the Yellow Jackets, but it was still cool. And I still got to watch Billions.
Oh man, get that, dude. Billions is ridiculous. Okay. I think Billions is really good. How about that?
I've heard it made
agree on.
Well, because we're finance guys, that's why.
Oh,
Well, I gotta check it in. But before I did, I watched the JFK documentary. That shit is crazy to me.
Yeah.
That shit is insanity to me.
We gotta go.
Huh?
Huh?
It's on Showtime? You said it's on Showtime?
Yeah, it's on Showtime.
All right.
That shit is wild.
Real quick, if we ever go to Dallas, because when I went to Dallas to see the Cowboys in Arizona a couple years ago, my dad took me to the 6th floor book depository. Basically overlooks was it the grassy knoll where JFK was killed. They have a great, like, it shows like what happened there, and then it also goes into some Black history stuff. You would love it. I think everybody should go see it. It was awesome. So if you ever want to go to Dallas, let's go to Dallas just to see that. I will go.
Let's do it, but I'm not convinced that the story is the real story.
No, nobody is. Yeah. 2 shooters, all kinds. The angles are wrong.
No,
there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to it.
And just the fact that was caught like on camera and the way that I was like, yo, that's why I had never seen it.
Yeah,
it should blew my mind. I shouldn't have done that. Sorry, I didn't mean that.
Yeah,
exactly. I just
no pun intended. No pun intended.
No pun intended.
I don't know, man. It's just crazy. But all right. Any other suggestions for this week for our listeners? All right, bump it or dump it. Then we got a couple. Let's get through it. We got one that's been on here forever because we haven't done it in a couple of weeks. Washington chose Commanders as their new name. Y'all like that?
No. They should have went with the Red Hogs. I thought that was more appropriate because they're about the whole pig thing, the hog thing, and the red.
They could have kind of stayed in there, right? Yeah, I don't know.
Like the senators, the capitals, the generals, the insurrectionists, anything, something that signifies DC to me.
I feel like they should have just moved the team. Like, just go, get out of here, move on. All right, Harbaugh signed a 5-year extension with Michigan after all of this chatter. I think he fucked himself.
Not me.
Not me.
He's getting paid more than head coaches in the NFL with less responsibility.
Right? So he ain't going nowhere for 5 years. He's chilling.
Yeah,
he did get ejected.
Is it
that
like
5-year money with him?
But how much of that is guaranteed?
All that's guaranteed.
All of it.
Is it?
All that is
then
guaranteed.
He's straight. Okay,
yeah.
well then never
all
mind.
That's guaranteed.
Okay, well then he's straight. Because he's not going to beat Ohio State again. I'm going to be honest with y'all. He's not beating Ohio State again.
Yeah.
Ohio State was better this year and they had a bunch of freshmen. They're going to murder him next year.
Which is fine. All he has to do is win once, and he could be Krzyzewski in Michigan if he beats Ohio State 20 to 40% of the time. I'd say 25% of the times they play.
Well,
I don't even know if you could do that. Well, anyway, that's all he has to do. That's all he has to do.
Next one, KD, you hopped off the bandwagon just in time. The Cowboys paid a $2.4 million settlement to the cheerleaders for the voyeurism allegations against the senior team executive. I guess back in 2015 at an event at AT&T Stadium, they said that Richard Dalrymple, the Cowboys senior vice president for public relations and communications, was standing behind a partial wall in the locker room with his iPhone extended toward the cheerleaders, watching them dress, change their clothes, and all that type of stuff. Perv ass nigga, man. So yeah, he got off with a $2.4 million settlement. Kind of crazy. That's crazy that you can get off.
I'm bumping that, but that's short-sighted because look what happened with Washington, with the cheerleaders in Washington. That was worse.
That's true. That's
and
true.
They, you know what I mean? It's just who picks and chooses to air the story or to go after the story, right? It feels like it's more DA driven than anything else.
I agree. And I also want to mention that the word is out that Snyder still ain't out from under the bus on that one. Like there's still rumblings amongst the crew, the ownership, that he's out.
He's the black sheep, but it's not it's hard when you're a billionaire. It's hard to kick another billionaire out because you have similar resources.
I just when the dominoes really fall on this, because I feel like there's a lot of connections in here. Like, and so when it really falls, like it's gonna be fucking crazy.
Well,
it is.
If they peel it back and they release all this stuff, like if they let us see what's really happening,
yeah,
people may have a different opinion about. I think that the opinion about the NFL is changing a little bit, collectively. I know it's still the most popular sport here in America, but we're starting to see that, it still is an old boys network. It still is, a racist regime to a certain extent. It still has that old school mentality to it, so people are starting to get enlightened. Especially the millennials.
Yeah, I agree. With that, I thought this dude wasn't going to get an extension, but there's talks about Goodell getting an extension. Y'all for that?
I'm dumping it, but if I could be any person, I'd probably want to be Goodell because he is, that guy's, he's got a good gig and he makes a lot of money.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I think the extension was going to take him through like 2029 or something crazy like that. I really thought they were going to cut him. Especially because of everything going on.
I'd like to see Peyton Manning as the commissioner of football.
That'd be nice. I think Peyton's a few years away from that. He might be. They might look, honestly, the way that the NFL loves Mannings, that it really isn't far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? Let me see a couple other things. We've got the lawsuit to talk about. Although we saw Brian Flores get hired on by Pittsburgh as was it the defensive coach?
Coordinator, I think.
Yeah, the defensive coordinator. The NFL, he still has a suit, and the NFL has hired the former U.S. Attorney General to pack them. They just went to the top of the top. What do you think? What do you think's going to happen with this?
I think
settlement?
Ultimately there needs to be an outside body that helps administrate the NFL because, like, you're asking a business to police itself. Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how does that work? In any other professional environment, the company is not at liberty just to audit its own financials, at liberty to do its own documentation to the SEC, right? Like, you need an entire different body that is autonomous from that business to make sure that business is running on up and up. And that's what the NFL has been, in its own little monopoly, has been given the full-fledged right to do. And it's inherently so broken, right? So it can cover up whatever it needs to cover up and can pay off whoever it needs to pay off. There's 32 dudes who own a single business that is virtually $1 trillion business if you span it over time. And then you ask them to do the right thing all the time. Like, how can you? How can you? So there should be some type of outside governmental body that does all the investigations, research, all that stuff, because you can't allow the NFL to do it because it's going to self-serve every effing time, period. Right. So all that stuff with the Redskins, there's probably so much more. All the stuff that Brian Flores brought up, there's probably so much more. I mean, God, I hate to bring it up. Colin Kaepernick is probably so much more. How many other things that we're just so completely unaware of, and it's insidiously done so that way? Probably
Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft, they got their finger on the button a little too much.
Robert Kraft got pinched for doing God knows what down in Florida. That dude didn't even, his entire case got thrown out. He didn't pay a fine. He didn't do nothing. The entire case went away. And crickets.
Was that for the massage parlor thing?
Correct. And he got caught on tape, but they said the tape was not admissible because it got
but what did he do that was wrong?
Paying for a handy, I think, or something like that.
Yeah,
whatever else.
It's like it was, Asian prostitution. He got the special, and he got that from Jerry, who got that from
Jerry Jones is definitely a little too involved in the decisions that are made.
Yeah.
NFL league wide.
Yeah.
Well, I think the NFL's run kind of like the mob, where there's really five families within the NFL that kind of run the NFL, right? Kind of like the five heads of the mob.
Right.
And
Patriots, Cowboys, Pittsburgh,
Giants.
And
there's one more. I gotta think of one more, but there is one. It doesn't surprise me because, as we all know, our justice system is so broken. We've got the best justice system that money can buy. So the more money you have, the more favorable anything that goes to court is going to look like it, for you. So sucks.
All right, let's keep it pushing. A couple of NBA things and then we out. Adam Silver says that the NYC's vax rules don't make any sense. He said he doesn't quite understand how it is that for Brooklyn home team players, they must be vaccinated and things of that nature. He said, especially with the idea that this is about public safety and things of that nature, but those other teams visiting don't. Doesn't make sense to him. Y'all here for that?
I agree with him.
I'm bumping that.
I agree with him. It doesn't make no sense because there's no blanket federal law or like statute or whatever that says that everyone has to abide by the same rules. It's at a state level, and states can differ. So, and then even within the state, cities and counties can differ. So, as long as there was so much discrepancy between all these different legislative areas or administrative areas, you're gonna have these kind of wonky ass rules where you can go one place is one thing, another place is another thing, but yet we play in the same league or same organization, and we don't have to live by the same rules. It's just kind of like those states where it's like you can smoke weed in Colorado, but you can't do it in like Virginia. So if you get pinched in Colorado as a player, like no big deal. You get pinched in Virginia as a player, you're going to jail. It's like, well, how does this work? So I mean, it's just the same kind of crap.
Yeah. So you think the answer here is for them to just let it go, or is the answer for them to say everybody must be vaccinated? That's our stance.
Let it go. It's un-American. It's un-American. And and I'm starting I'm blurred now. I don't know what being American is anymore because I've seen things get taken away that I never, ever, ever thought would be taken away.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's get into the LeBron headlines real quick. So LeBron headline 1, LeBron says that Sam Presti is the real MVP following the trade deadline because he has an eye for talent. Is that shade at our GM?
Well, I heard that he and AD weren't consulted on when the trade deadline came, that they didn't even talk to those two guys. So at me as a GM, I'm always going to talk to, we all know, right? There's higher performers and there's lower performers within every organization. My job is tied to those two guys. I'm going to talk to them just because that's how I would approach it.
You think that's because he did talk to him about this offseason and this is what's happened?
Either way, if LeBron says, look, let's just tank this thing and get Rob fired, or if LeBron went to Genie and said, I'm not playing if Rob's still the GM, what do you think's going to happen to Rob?
Yeah, no, that's true. And so, okay, that's a good segue into the next one. Do you think that this has something to do with LeBron continuously putting out things that allude to him leaving? Sam saying straight up, the door on returning back to Cleveland is not closed. And then the bigger one that everybody keeps harping on, the fact that he said wherever his son is, that's where he's going to play his final season.
He's got the power to do it. However, in 4 years, like LeBron's already starting to break down. He's still a great player. He's already starting to break down. I don't like the fact that he's holding the franchise hostage, and I don't believe he's going to deliver us another chip while he's in a Laker uniform.
I agree.
So, bye, Labrisha. That's what I say.
100%. Yeah, no, 100%. I feel like that's an unpopular opinion that I have as well. LeBron can go, AD can go. You know what I'm saying? Bye. Like, it's cool. We get it. You guys did what you could for the city. You're done. You're not committed to us the way that we are used to. You know what I'm saying? Laker greats are committed to the purple and gold. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not committed to anything but their own initiatives.
That's an entire. Well, no, hold on. That's an entire generation at this point. I don't think there will ever be. Well, it's more likely that we'll never see a single player on a single team their entire career, and that career lasts longer than, let's say, 10 years.
Yeah, but there's still people that when they don the Laker uniform, I mean, and these are people that are even underperforming. Okay, I'm just being honest with y'all. Like Russell Westbrook, he feels immense pride being in a Lakers uniform. Malik Monk, he'll tell you the same thing. He feels immense pride. Like there's guys that they're like, yo, I really truly want to be here. You know what I'm saying? And if we have a superstar or superstars, mega superstars, and they don't feel that way, nah, run it. Like out of here with that. Like
You're right. And Katie's right too. The problem is, who are the guys that really did that for us that made being Lakers like great? Jerry West, Kareem, Magic, Kobe. Those guys, and that bar is so darn high, right? Like, so to your point, if and when we get a superstar, we expect them to live, breathe, and eat purple and gold like those guys did. Yeah. But to Katie's point, I don't think this new generation of player, they don't care about that. Just like what Andrew Bynum said, there's an ATM in every city, right? Yeah. I think they have that mentality.
Yeah, well, it just annoys me because, like, I mean, especially as it pertains to LeBron, and I'm gonna be real with you guys. Over LeBron's entire career, I've never been a so-called witness. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like a dude who was like, all right, man, he's very talented, but like I see flaws. It's almost like listening to Drake rap. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's talented, but Drake will never be Jay-Z. He'll never be one of the greats to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I'm not trying to take away from LeBron. LeBron can hold all the records in the world, but to me, I look at dudes it just differently. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, LeBron, the Michaels, the Kobe's, the Magics, you know what I'm saying? They just play differently. And to see LeBron and his team, shit the bed as much as they have this year, but to still see him out, at the Rams, talking about, oh, we want to get in on the championship thing too. I mean, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd have never seen Kobe or Michael talk that talk. To sit here and publicly be talking about, oh, well, the door on joining another team isn't closed. Like, focus here. Like, he's clearly not here. I mean, and then I just seen something where him and Anthony Davis and a bunch of other people are doing another show about basketball on Showtime or something like that. It's like, fam, I get it. You used us. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is.
Doesn't they have the barbershop one already?
Yeah, but there's another one that's coming. It's supposed to be episodic from what I understand. And I'm like, I don't want to see it.
I don't think cats built like that no more. And back to the point I was trying to make earlier, like they just really not built that way. So why do we continue to hold them to the expectation that they will do a particular thing when that's a completely different generation, right? Let alone to be at that level of stardom and that level of talent. I've been really thinking about this a lot. LeBron would never be LeBron had he not just been physically built the way he is, right? He does not have the mentality of some of these other players that are absolute killers and murderers. You put that dude on any team, he gonna wheel that team to a different perspective. Magic did that, Kareem did that, Kobe did that, Jordan did that. If any of those players were built the way LeBron James is physically built at 18 years old, who knows what those dudes would have done, right? If Kobe physically had all the gifts that LeBron does, where would Kobe be? It'd be 81, it'd be 181. You know what I mean? Like that dude would be doing the most. LeBron has gotten to where he is because he's just physically gifted and he's cerebral too in his own right, but he does not have the killer strike and mentality that those dudes have had before him. So for that matter, why would you be loyal to a team where you know that your skills and just like any other person, any other profession, they will go to the highest bidder? Nobody is loyal to any one company ever. Last time we saw people have their entire careers at one company were our parents. None of us do that. We go where the check is, right? You pay me enough, I'm gonna stay there and I'm gonna be as loyal as that check is to me. That check's loyal to me, I'm loyal to that company.
Right.
That's the LeBron mentality, right? So he's got his whole brand. Kobe didn't have a brand. Kobe's brand was, I'm winning. Get some, right? LeBron has built a brand within his playing career. None of the other players did that. Michael Jordan had shoes, but that was his only brand. He was not like the nice guy out there trying to build all these other things. Shaq, he has built a bigger brand outside of basketball than he has done within basketball. Magic has built a bigger brand outside of basketball than he did within basketball. LeBron is building his brand while he's still playing basketball. And that is the problem with him. If Kobe, Magic, Jordan, any of those dudes had his physical gifts, it would be an absolute wrap. I mean, not that it already isn't. I mean, it'd just be like stratospheric, like whole other low
Untouchable
herbal,
Jerry Rice
low-
records, untouchable.
Exactly. All those dudes, and they would never be touched again.
Well, that's a good point, but I'm gonna conclude this because I got more questions, and we'll say that for next week. It's 11 or 10 y'all time. Let's tap out right now at this particular moment. We appreciate everybody that's tapped into episode 86. Look out for Wednesday. I think we might make a half episode, and that might be where we start the 75. But either way, I look forward to Mick.
Hey, if this is
y'all being
86,
out here with me.
Is this the Bill Buckner episode where
Because
the
I
ball
believe
just-
this is
he goes
86,
right
so-
through the wickets? 86. Anyway,
Yeah,
some bad
might be.
Bill Buckner.
All right, y'all. We'll talk to y'all a little bit later, man. Y'all stay up, stay